How you enjoying coaching kids club?
Oh man, it's a blast.
That's awesome.
It is. It's to see the joy of the kids. I mean, they wrestle because they love it, right?
Until the parents, freaking scream at them and yell.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We got.
You know what though? You'll probably be great at stopping that. Correct?
Well, I try.
Right?
I'm in the room. I'm helping out. I'll run a practice if they ask. Kale does a great job running everything, and then Justin Barber. So it's still, I'm feeling the way around. I help kids and try not to step on toes. But yeah, I have some.
It's okay to stop on a toe once in a while.
Yeah. But it'll be interesting. I'll be right there, bud. We got our first tournament this weekend. That's when the craziness happens. So
really, where at?
Belvedere Open.
Awesome.
Belvedere Bandits Open. And they just said I think we got 580 kids or something crazy like that. It's insane.
Yeah, it sounds wild.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of screaming, a lot of loud noise. So let me go get my kid out of the shower. I'll be right back.
Got it. Well, Marty, I'm going to bring up the potential teams that are going to be wrestling at the Barrington Tournament.
No, there's a few teams that are missing.
Oh yeah,
they're like some good teams. Yeah.
Who do you
like? There's a few Catholic schools that aren't there, right?
But who? Why? Which ones were there?
Like Marion, Joy Catholic was there for a while. There's a few teams back,
Yeah, I know. Obviously, a lot of teams are.
Well, how the hell am I supposed to read that?
I'm gonna increase it. Don't you worry.
I already looked at it today, actually. Hananiga's got a great chance.
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to be favored going into it. We're going to get to see, Downers Grove South always has a pretty solid team, I think. Crystal Lake Central, see how they're looking. Barrington obviously has always got a good team.
Hersey.
Yeah, Hersey's who they wrestled in the duel.
Yeah.
Algonquin Jacobs, they'll be in the regional. So
yeah.
Joliet West, there's a couple solid kids on that team, I believe.
Yeah, I just don't see those Catholic schools.
Yeah, but Libertyville, Lincolnshire.
You know what? Libertyville's wrestling coach is one of the greatest human beings and the greatest person for wrestling in Illinois. He's just a great guy.
You talking about Dale Eggert?
Oh yeah. I used to film him. So we used to wrestle at Waukegan, like the beginning of December. We'd have a tournament, and then we would stay the night and go to the Midlands the next day, and then I would film him while he was wrestling in the Midlands. He's just an unbelievable guy.
Cameraman.
And he'll do anything for you. You ever called him up? Like he wants people to be successful.
Yeah.
He's just I wrestled him one of my years down at Prairie State Games when I, home over college, and I went down and wrestled, and I wrestled him freestyle.
Who won?
Yeah, well, not me. Pretty tough old man.
There he is.
How old was he?
I wouldn't call him old to his face. I'll say,
How old were you, and how old was he?
Oh man, I was early, probably 2021, and I'm guessing he was
30s
at least. I mean, he's
maybe 40.
He's the oldest place winner at the Midlands. Like he plays like probably in his 30s, I want to say something crazy like that.
Well, yeah, he is.
You guys do know that it's Wednesday night before Thanksgiving, right?
It is.
We cut in big plans. You hitting you going downtown Fibs or what?
Nope. We went to Fibs for lunch.
Yeah, I didn't think
just hanging out here at home.
What do you guys have planned for tomorrow? Anything fun? You got to go somewhere? Any travel?
Nope.
we have Copper's family coming over here, so we're doing all the cooking and eating here. So
Gotcha.
All of my wife's family is basically gone now, so it's three of us here for Nate's coming over, and we're gonna hang out. So it's good.
Got
And
it.
all my family in Iowa, they're almost all gone too. So as you get older, things happen.
yeah, Joe doesn't come in town, or Marty?
I heard you.
Okay.
We'll do that. We'll talk later.
Yeah. Well, either way, you don't have much going on, so I figured this would be a great time. I thought about canceling,
It's awesome.
but this weekend is the Barrington Tournament. I saw that there were a couple duels this week. McNames, I don't know if you got a chance to see. Yesterday we kind of did that dual broadcast, but we're kind of learning the ropes of what it would look like. We didn't do it live. We kind of just recorded it, but it was a good experiment.
I saw what you posted on YouTube or whatever. I watched a little bit, saw you guys commentating. So they set up a camera for you down there, and then you can just hack on and watch. And
yeah, no hacking. We're not hacking. We're just doing it's just a remote camera, and then we can send it back to my stream. And so the difficulty is just going to be getting some of the details set up. So whether or not we need the camera pointed at a clock and a scoreboard, or we have an individual who is going to be basically, on site and act as a little bit of a producer, gives us the time, gives us the scores, gives us the updates as far as what's going on the scene and stuff like that. So,
cool.
I think it should be pretty easy for us to get a lot more coverage and be able to find out about people's lineups and what weight classes are going to be tougher come the end of the season. So
you know what we did find out though, Dan, we found out that they would forfeit weight classes when they actually had a kid in a weight class, which I think is a very bad thing for Illinois or any high school wrestling. If you put a kid in the lineup, wrestle them. Doesn't matter who the other person is. That's the only way they're going to get better. And we watched that a little bit last night.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say which team it was. I will not do that. But I was very disappointed because it was a very good. I mean, it was a good dual meet, but there was like 6 forfeits, and of those 6 forfeits, I think there was 4 guys that should have been wrestling.
Yeah.
And then they
had someone that weighed in and could have been out there, and they helped them out.
Yeah, wrestle them, right? What's the matter?
Yeah.
Who remembers their record anyhow in life?
Yeah.
You know what? Someday this kid's going to say, you know what? So-and-so, and he qualified for state.
Exactly.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially, I mean, at the high school level, or at least at the lower weights in the high school level. So, the one specific we were talking about, 113, we were talking about 106, 113, and 120. So I think all 3 weight classes are lightweight classes. I could understand if you had like a 189-pound monster and like a freshman or something. If that was specifically.
Well, I'll tell you, freshman year, I get into the varsity lineup, and it's 98 pounds. And this is one of the worst ass whippings I've taken in my life in wrestling. And I remember it vividly, but if I weighed 90 pounds, I must have had some weight in my pockets getting on the scale. But I wrestled Steve Pierce from Stillman Valley, who ended up being the state champ that year. And he worked me like I've never been worked before. And it was, I think, the first year of the Tech Fall. And before that, you could score how many points, I believe. I mean, Marty, you'll probably remember that. That's
all of them.
But
I wrestled Barry Davis in a freestyle tournament his senior year. I was a freshman. He beat me 26-0.
Yeah.
26. Yeah, they didn't have. Wow.
The only thing that saved me that match was the fact that he scored too many points. I mean, he just beat the piss out of me. And you know what? I walked off devastated. I don't know who this kid. He walked over afterwards and talked to me. We became some workout partners, became great friends. you know, and I always look back like don't wrestle that match. I don't get to know the kid, you know.
All right, I got one for you too. Okay, so I grew up in Northeast Iowa, which was a hotbed for wrestling in Iowa. Like Dan Gable would come to our sectionals. When we wrestled Turkey Valley, and they were a powerhouse.
Wait, Turkey
Valley.
Turkey
Valley.
Okay,
and they were a powerhouse, and they had all these families interjected, and I wrestled one in my freshman year. It was probably about this time of year, and he beat the living crap out of me. He had me so spun around, I went down and sat on their bench, and all the wrestlers just shoved me away, like, get the hell out of here. Like, what the hell are you doing? I was so spun around. I mean,
moral of the story is you can take a butt whooping and survive.
Yeah, the moral of the story is wrestle your guys.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, there's a couple things that we might disagree on, but one thing I want to always see is try to get 14 matches at the varsity. I think that is the point of the dual meet. That's like what fans kind of can create spectacle off of. That's what makes it engaging event. So
no one wants to go watch a bunch of forfeits and
even that matches. No disrespect to the lower level JV freshman guys that are just getting matches and stuff, but because they don't matter, because the scores don't count to the points, they're not as engaging, right? The mom and the family might be watching, but because they're not participating in the points, there's less attachment to it. So
who cares about what mom and dad are watching?
Well, no, you
make the kid tough.
I'm just saying. I was trying to say JV. You don't care who wins in JV matches.
You don't, yeah.
But if they're in a high school, if they're at the varsity level, at least they have points. They go towards that. But yeah, so either way, it was a fun duel to kind of get into watching and stuff. So I think again, I wanted to see some of Oregon's lighter weights get to wrestle, but they didn't get a chance. So yeah. Hopefully we'll get some more coverage of some other schools and get to see some other matches and other duels.
Did you reach out to them about doing it, or they kind of?
Yeah, I wanted an example so I could reach out to other people, but I knew Justin and I had talked about it, and he was all on board. So
the head coach at Oregon's an awesome person.
Yeah,
he's a great. He is promoting wrestling and. I really like him.
Yeah,
don't even know him. I just know him from podcasting, but I like what he does.
Yeah. Right here, it's a segue. Marty, I talked on Saturday. We got done talking with Elber and Potnick, right?
Yeah.
And I kind of made comments like it'd be kind of nice if some of these schools or clubs sent us something, like a T-shirt. I mean, I would wear to promote.
Right.
I mean, Big Ten Plus hasn't come through for us yet, so.
We're just getting started, though.
I'm a little worried. I mean, you guys might work your way into like a broadcasting deal. I've listened to some of the college Big Ten channels, and they have kids covering the dual meet, and I think that was what you would call a takedown. Yeah, takedown. Yeah. I mean, you get good at this.
Yeah, I'm hoping they call us for
Tim Johnson and Jim Gibbons are getting old on the Big Ten Network. It could be me and Dalton and you, Dan.
Yeah. Well, right? did you see?
We'll put you Matt size.
Yeah.
Matt side.
I'll take what's his face's position.
Come on, what's his name?
Yeah, we met him at the Big Tens too. God, that guy is high energy.
You're talking about Shane Sparks?
Yeah, Shane Sparks. Yeah. All those guys are good guys, They're fun to be around.
Yeah.
It's ESPN Plus, though, is starting to figure it out, though. Like the scoring part of the scoreboards and all that stuff. They're doing a good job. I mean,
yeah.
There's a dual meet almost every weekend.
Yeah, no complaints with what they're doing. They're doing great stuff over there. And, I like that there's a lot of coverage and it's easy to get to, on Hulu. I can go search NCAA wrestling, and it's in the catalog. I can go back and watch all the past duels and stuff like that. So
Yeah. ESPN Plus the other night before the Okie State duel, I watched Jesus, maybe VMI and some other school that never would have followed or watched, but it was right there on ESPN Plus.
Virginia Military Academy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who they wrestled, but I mean, it was a good duel to watch, you know.
yeah, I mean, like I said, there's watching wrestling is one thing, and then watching wrestling that has stakes at it, whether it's obviously those matches are a little bit more entertaining.
There's levels, to it,
Yeah.
Like watching those guys, to them it's a big meet, and taking nothing away from them, but
yeah,
then you watch Iowa State, or
Yeah. Speaking
what
of
about that, what do you think?
What's that?
What do you think about that?
Iowa State.
Well, I don't know.
Who's going to be the guy at 74?
Who's going to be the guy at 84?
Wow, I think that's
both guys. You got both those guys they put out scored points.
Well,
I scored points.
I think Arnold. You go with Arnold, right? He's already redshirted 1 year, and you redshirt Ferrari, right?
Yeah. Ferrari's redshirting. I just want to know if Brands or
I think Brands, or do you go with
who scored the points? Right? Even both those matches.
Marty? What's the 74 pounder?
Kennedy.
Patrick Kennedy.
Patrick Kennedy scored a ton of. They both got. Both either got tech fall in a major.
I'm asking you, who's the starter? Brands or Kennedy?
Well, you know what? Right now, Kennedy is.
Yeah,
okay.
He's a point scorer.
He's gonna definitely. He's gonna get you bonus points. I don't think.
Brands, here's the question. If Brands is beating Kennedy in the room,
is he?
I mean, I'm not saying that Brands is probably hard to take down.
Right. He's such a defensive person.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how the game Arnold?
Can you imagine? Hey, can you imagine Uncle Tom has to tell his nephew, we're going to go with Kennedy. We're going to go with Patrick Kennedy here.
Then he'll move up to 84 then.
We'll see.
Do you think they can beat those guys?
Gabe Arnold.
He was there for a while.
Yeah. It would be interesting to see that.
The good thing is they got until March 4th to make a final decision.
True.
Really. I mean, you can go back and forth all year.
Kevin Dresser, I read an article today. I get Iowa shit. But Kevin Dresser said he was the best Iowa wrestling team he's faced.
This was?
Yeah. Yep. Dresser said it was the best Iowa team he's faced.
I mean,
well, you take away the 6 for the forfeit from team,
right?
It's not even a close duel,
right?
So yeah.
I mean, it's tough to say. Just a couple of years ago, they had a pretty solid lineup for Spencer Lee, Austin DeSanto.
Well, they won a national title a few years ago. I don't think this lineup's as good as that.
That wasn't a few years ago. That was a long time ago.
That was back in the biblical years when there was a
3 years ago.
When?
The COVID year.
COVID year.
They won the national title that year.
2003. Right?
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, that's
and Tony Cassiope won it for him.
2021.
Tony Cassiope won the national title for him. He took third.
Wow.
Yeah, they won the national title just a couple of years ago. The COVID year, they probably would have won it too. They would have been back to back probably.
There was actually when high school football was playing in March, and I called Tom Plasky, who was doing a broadcast with Andy Gannon, and I said Tony Cassiope just took third in the country, and that won the national title for him.
Yeah.
And I was playing golf.
I see. Wow.
Right? Wasn't it? It was up in Minnesota.
Well, no. That was not held. So 2021 was held at St. Louis Enterprise Center, Iowa, Penn State.
Okay.
Iowa won it.
Yeah, and Shane Griffith won Outstanding Wrestler when he won. And
Stanford?
Wow, okay. Yeah, when he won when he saved Stanford Wrestling.
Yeah, they wore the black.
Yeah. Wow, I totally forgot about that year. Interesting.
Was it 2021?
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, either way, that I do not count that one. That was
Yeah.
How can you not count that?
What?
They won the national
Oh,
title.
what the? Dalton.
well, either
You know
way,
what? It is what it is.
Do you think the team is better than that? I mean,
No.
Right now?
No.
It's just Kevin Dresser said that was one of the best Iowa teams he's faced.
but do
Now
you think
that's
he's saying
changed
that
everything,
as like?
right?
Do you think he's saying that? So there's like an undercurrent right now going on that is really throwing jabs at Iowa, basically because they can't do anything other than throw money at people. You know,
Well,
Iowa's.
Isn't that what the sport is?
Well, it doesn't seem like it. It seems like
right?
guys like Penn State, teams like Penn State aren't throwing the money the same potentially, and they're still getting the better guys. And, I think Kevin Dresser is basically, a couple of years back, I don't know if you remember, Nick Saban had a press conference, and he basically said it was going to cost him $2 million to get a quarterback. Well, he was saying that to his boosters. He was basically in a press conference telling his boosters, hey, if you want to win, we better raise some money. So part of me is like thinking that Kevin Dresser is continuously putting this out. If you're an Iowa State fan and you want them to beat Iowa, well, you better, ante up, because they just traded for 3 Division I All-Americans that are phenomenal, wrestlers.
But why are we talking about this though? Because I'm going to tell you right now, factually, it's Oklahoma State. They're bought in. They're going to be unbelievable.
Oh, I'm with you.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm going to be an Iowa guy my whole life, but he's changed the whole thing in wrestling.
Yeah.
I mean, in Oklahoma, there is money out there for them to spend. I mean, Oklahoma State's going to be unbelievable, I think he's a great person too. I really do. Don't you think Dave Taylor's a great person?
I do. Every time you ever hear him interview, I've always like what he says. He's been humble, winning, humble, losing. You know what?
And you know what else? He's going to tell his goddamn wrestlers that I wrestled all the way back to finish 3rd. I'm like, right? Like, the worst thing to do is to wrestle back. And you got to have some freaking nuts to do that. And he did it.
Especially at that level.
Right. Exactly.
And
you might have to edit a little bit there, Dalton.
Yeah, this is not a kid's show. But yeah, I mean, in that situation, he was there for the gold and he didn't get it. He could have easily just said, I'm done. But yeah, I think he had added motivation. It was going to be potentially his last time competing at the World Championships. So I think he wanted to make sure he didn't tuck his tail and run. But yeah, I think that program has just changed. I was going to tell McNames I'm back on the saddle, because they're new. They got a new 33 pounder, and
I got issues.
I like him.
Was what? Oh, geez, what's your issues?
Nothing.
No, I think
it's great for wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Marty, WrestleStat has Oklahoma State beating Iowa
in a duel.
Yeah,
that duel's a long ways away.
That is.
It is.
Speaking of matches in Iowa, I was a little disappointed. Surprised, maybe not disappointed, was the Cuter and Bastida or whatever match. I thought that'd be closer.
Yeah, me too. Totally. I told Dalton today, I'm like, oh my God, I thought he's going to be a little more competitive.
Yeah.
But he's not going to be an All-American right now. There's no way with Gable Stevens come back. Have you watched him wrestle this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I picked the field against him.
Yeah, he made a big mistake.
I went out and I put it out here. People have heard. I got him not winning that.
He had to get a takedown in less than 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And he went and got it to get the tech fall.
And you know what he's got?
And I'm going to say this. His first match, he tech falled some guy who was in the lineup.
North
Right.
Dakota State.
And so I was like, oh, whatever. Well, he just tech-folded the kid who was a returning All-American. Then I was like,
Yeah, the guy who's in the All-Star Classic.
Yeah,
that
guy
beat-
never All-Star Classic,
who beat
which
Feldman.
impressed.
maybe I overstepped my thought process,
I
but
mean, if you think about the heavyweight division, you got Gable Stevenson, you got Greg Kerfleet, you got Wyatt Hendrickson, you got Colton Schultz.
Colton
you got,
Schultz looked like shit though.
Yeah,
He
but still,
does.
it doesn't matter. Colton Schultz, and then you got the Stida, right? And then you got
Right.
the Gadali from Campbell. And then you got Feldman from Ohio State. I mean, right there's 8. I mean, and you're talking where's
And you got Keeter too, though.
But that's what I'm saying. Where's Keeter and Luffman from Illinois?
Hopefully on the opposite side of.
I mean,
yeah,
from 4 to 8 at the NCAA tournament is going to be, that's going to be a good bracket.
Like I said the other night, that what the hell is it? I just lost my old man theory. Gable Stevenson.
Yeah.
His freaking frame has changed.
Yeah.
Because he was in football. So he's a little bit larger in areas, but I thought he'd be out of shape, but man, he's not.
I ain't gonna lie. I was talking to Andrew Walters about this, and I made the comment. I was like, I'm going against him. He's been out of it, and he's not going to be there sharp. He hasn't wrestled, and Andrew kind of said, he goes, "Do you think he's ever stopped training or wrestling?" I go, yeah, I do. And then after watching, I don't think he has.
I don't think he did.
Man,
he was training with John Jones. You don't think he's? Yeah, but Gable versus Greg Kerfleet is worth.
It's gonna. I hope Kerfleet beats him.
Yeah, but either way, it's gonna be a great duel to watch. Because here's the thing:
it's not gonna be. It's gonna be like 3 times.
But yeah, and here's the thing: Gable is so good. Gable is so good at defense of reshots. He gets guys to take bad shots. He snaps them, spins them. He change direction, get a little snatch single. The best strategy against Gable is not to shoot. But Kerfleet is a guy that can shoot and probably finish if he gets in a good position. Where these other guys, I don't think they have a shot at finishing.
No,
there's nobody that does. No, there's no. Those are the top 2 guys. There's nothing close.
And I watched Wyatt. He's just he's too wild. He's just a little too wild, I think.
It's early.
So Dalton, you going to get us into the Big Tens this year?
I don't know how we would go about doing that.
Well, you got to. At Northwestern.
Well, we got to get our
get some credentials.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to get some of these some college coaches on and talk to them a little bit.
That could be our tryout for the Big Ten. We could sit next to Tim Johnson and those guys and say, work us in a little bit here.
Yeah, we want into the rotation. Just send us
matches we want to cover.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do the backside matches. They don't have to show up early Saturday morning.
Right, exactly.
Speaking of, guys, the Oklahoma State versus Iowa duel is February 23rd.
In Iowa?
I'm not for sure. Is that state weekend?
It's got to be close. Yeah.
It's got to be close, right?
So gotta be close, yeah.
I can't do that. We got to go to the state tournament because I think there might be some kids some kids from Hano freaking placing.
It'll be a Sunday duel, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah. Wow, that's a lot of wrestling in one weekend. I got to make a decision about that, but either way, that's a jam packed. February this year is going to be a lot of wrestling going on.
Yeah, 21st, 22nd that weekend. That's state tournament individual.
Yeah. So.
Is it at Iowa?
Yeah, at Iowa.
That's a long drive. I can't even do that.
Yeah, but we'll see. Yeah. Other than that, though, anything else you guys got going on?
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah, it is.
There's not many people that are working tonight, and we are.
Yeah.
If you call this work.
Shout out to the sponsors
for
letting us come on tonight.
Yeah.
Again.
So did Belvedere North, Belvedere, anybody wrestle tonight? What's going on?
Neither one of them. They both wrestled last night. North wrestled Freeport and Boylan.
Yeah.
And Belvedere wrestled Jefferson Harlem.
So what winners?
So
I
North,
know we don't want to call them losers, but they are.
well, North wrestled Freeport. Freeport got a nice full lineup. I'm pretty sure, they had a few guys out. North has a few out. And Freeport ended up pulling away in the upper weights. I don't know what the final dual score was, but they ended up winning.
Okay.
Freeport. Boylan, I didn't stick around. They only had maybe 8 kids there. So I know Belvedere beat Jefferson, lost to Harlem. I don't know any real details there, but
Did you see something that we like talked to Foxlight Grant coaches and the Hampshire coaches, and those guys have over 100 kids in their program right now.
It's just crazy,
right?
Crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know North, their numbers are pretty good. They got 40 plus kids. So, I mean, they got the start of something going there, at least.
Yeah.
It's
definitely impressive that some of those suburban teams have 100 plus kids. It'd be nice to have that in a high school, but
and I think that's what people in this area don't understand. When you go into the suburbs to compete against a suburb team, like the talent pool they're pulling from.
Yeah.
Right. It's a little different than what we have out here.
Yeah. When I was coaching, I didn't care what. We would go to the beginning of the conference meeting, and then we like 50, 60 kids. I'm like, I don't care. I got to go into Chicago and freaking wrestle the really good teams. You got to just have to do that.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got to. It starts from the bottom and works up.
Yeah.
I mean, I was up at Hanega like a week ago, and there was like 65 kids in the room.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. The numbers are good for some programs and some not, but I think the trend line is going to continue to increase. I think there's a couple things that are, just happening, whether it's technology alone, whether it's doing stuff like this or, people like David Taylor, media is changing. So marketing is also going with that. So I think wrestling's got some good years ahead. One thing I was going to say though, speaking of like the media stuff, but I'm starting to get messages. So when they hear me say something, or they hear Marty say something, or they hear you say something, Dan, then I get a text message like, oh, hey, or if I'm on a phone call, like, oh, what was Marty talking about? Or, somebody texted me today, like, because I said that I liked Oregon's team as a favorite going into the regional. And then somebody reached out, said I was a little crazy. And I said, hey, listen, I'm still learning the lineups. I like their lineup right now. Until I see another lineup, they're my favorite lineup right now for that single A regional.
So, you know what, Dalton? The best thing I can ever tell you is that when I started coaching, and then all of a sudden we started to get some press, and sometimes it was negative. I don't care if it's positive or negative. As long as they're talking about us, we're doing good stuff, right?
Exactly.
I mean, you got to tell the truth. Like, we have all been through it. We have a knowledge of the sport, and if they don't like what we say, well, that's all right.
Hey, everyone has their own opinion,
right? Yeah.
I just know mine's always right.
You know what? Mine's never right. Mine's never right when I walk in the house.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, it depends on what my wife says, because then I find out, actually, I'm not right.
Yeah, Dalton, it's getting it out there. Somewhere along the line, we're going to upset somebody, but it's awesome.
Well, yeah, I just was mentioning how exciting it is that people are following along because we're just talking about it. I think it's interesting.
I had a text a while back when I talked about the wrestling Winnebago wrestling program that day. Nino Capriola shot me a text later that day complaining, hey, couldn't give me a shout out. So I was like, Jesus, man.
All right, here we go.
So it's good. I mean, people are listening to us ramble about.
So it's the night before Thanksgiving right now. All right. People understand this. It's the night before Thanksgiving. And we were talking about high school and college wrestling. And most people are out drinking. And we're sitting here and talking about wrestling.
Yeah.
Think about that. We have a passion for it.
Yeah.
I just came from the kids' club practice.
Right. Exactly.
I mean,
the people don't have a clue what it takes.
Yeah. I mean, that's why it's hard to navigate, crazy. What is crazy? It's kind of it's kind of like a confused like committed group of people.
Yeah.
So
Well, one person calls crazy, the other person calls normal. Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's always normal for me to follow wrestling. I love wrestling. And I'm excited to watch, I'm excited to just continue to see people on the journey of like elite level wrestling. I think it's fun, and I think it's hard to do, and anybody who does it well has to put in a lot of work. So I admire that. And the team stuff, obviously that comes with just collectively building a group of people that all are competitive and want to succeed together. So
creating the culture.
So hopefully we can grow it.
You got this weekend, right? I think you guys talked about Barrington. That's a great opening tournament for the year, man.
Yep, we were going over it. They got Hersey, Libertyville, Hananiga.
It doesn't matter. It's Hano.
Dono.
Doesn't matter. It's Hano's going to win it.
What's the ending score, Marty?
They're going to win it.
All right, I'll take the field.
All right, we're on $10.
Okay, let's do it.
I think Libertyville and Hersey, they have some good opportunities to make a run in it. And Hananiga's down a little bit, right? They don't have one of the Cassiopes. And I don't know where the weight classes are. Is TJ up? Is he at 38? Is he is he at 44?
Who are you talking about?
TJ Silva. Do you know what weight he's at?
Yeah, he's probably up, not 38 right now.
Okay, so starting of the year,
this is the first tournament of the year. People are
it's the first time making weight. They should have been making weight tonight.
The program you mentioned in there, who has been steadily on the rise and very competitive, is Hersey.
Yeah.
Right.
They were at the team sectional last year.
Yeah, and they've been in it, I think, for the last couple of years. They've been pretty solid.
I would love to give you guys the lineup for Hananiga, but I'm not doing it.
Oh, geez. Why?
I can't do it.
Do you have it?
I do have it. Of course I have it.
I just want to know. I just want to know their lineup: 44, 50, 52 up.
44, 50, 52, 44. I don't even know who the kid is.
Okay, I know Haranki is somewhere around there. And then a couple others, but we'll find out.
I'll give it to you next week.
Okay.
I guess on Sunday or Saturday we'll find out what their lineup is, huh?
Yeah.
And Barrington's got a good team too. So
just put it this way: everybody moved up from last year.
You think?
Wow, that was pretty deep.
That's all I got for you.
Hey, I hope you don't get in trouble for that one, Deep Throat. Jeez.
I don't get in trouble for any. What am I going to get in trouble for?
Why can't you release it?
Yeah, Marty. Everybody in the state went up a weight class last year.
Yeah, right.
Last year.
All right. All right, I'll give it to you.
All right.
I got to find it, though.
Hang on, let me record this so I can send it out.
We're recording. Don't worry. I want to know the lineup, and I want to see if he's getting the right information. They might be feeding him wrong information already.
They could be.
No, I guarantee you I don't. I might have to find it. It's going to take me a while, though.
They told Marty,
I got it.
Don't tell anybody. Now he's going to find out if it's on the podcast.
So what do you want to know?
I want to see. I want to know the lineup. Yeah.
Yeah, start at 6.
Tell me who you want to know where they're at.
Well, just start at 6 and work your way up.
Well, I think there's a girl at 106.
Okay.
And then
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
But you're not going to post this out till they wrestle, right?
I was planning on posting tomorrow.
Don't do that. All right.
Well, I don't think, Marty, I might have to bleep you then right now, but I don't think TJ's going to be at 38 this week.
No way in hell is he going to be.
Well, then we're going to find out. So,
right?
Yeah.
Should be an interesting tournament. It starts Saturday.
Did you see the rankings though?
No,
I don't follow rankings because rankings are.
Oh yeah, but you got to look at like the Cassiopes have running like if they're like in a extremely tough weight classes this year.
Yeah,
that Mendoza kid from Mount Carmel's, and I think that's where one of them is going to be.
They got a 20, 26, 26.
I mean, at the end of the day, whatever weight class the Cassiopes go to is going to be a freaking tough weight class. Every weight
Well,
class in the
you know
state
what
of
happens though?
Illinois
You know,
is tough.
Dalton, how the whole thing happens? It's like in February, like late February, and it's in Champaign, and there's 6 guys on the podium.
Yeah.
And that's how it ends, right?
Yep. You just hope one of your guys, one of them, right?
Yeah. Oh, not mine, not anymore.
Well,
I'm just hanging out.
just in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
But
I
it's
do.
going to be good.
I
I
know,
think
Marty.
Hononegah's got some things to work out for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch the season unfold. This weekend's going to be a great preview to that 3A sectional and just the route to the state tournament in general. So should be good. Anything else, guys? I'll leave you and Marty. I'll
nice to
make
see
sure
you.
and bleep out the lineup secret that you gave us.
No, it doesn't matter. When they're wrestling, they're going to wrestle in 2 days. It does. What's it matter, right?
Well, we want to make sure that you're still good on the inside.
Yeah,
I'm always. You know what? My name's above the room. I'm good on the inside.
Well, it's on the
But
outside.
I
of the
don't
room, right?
go there very often.
That name's on the outside of the door, not on the inside, is it?
Yeah, right. It's on the
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah. So
And you know what else we have? We have a great AD now that understands wrestling for the first time in a long goddamn time. And you tell him to do that, all right?
he'll battle for you.
Yeah, he will. He's awesome. Best thing that's ever happened to Hononegah in sports.
Oh man.
Over the addition of Marty Kaiser. All right.
No, that has nothing to do with me. I'm talking like you have to have a
Overall.
great athletic director. He's the
Oh yeah.
best.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
You need a great AD to have good programs.
Speaking of,
Exactly.
again, I told you guys, I mentioned this. Next week, we'll definitely try to do this. I want to get on and have a fun podcast with you guys talking about all the complaints of like, just, I don't, it's going to be a different type of podcast, but I think it'll be fun for us because we're pretty good at arguing certain areas. But
Well, is Dan going to be around?
maybe,
A day
I
that
mean,
he's not wrestling.
yeah, he's a busy
Our
coach.
practice Monday, Wednesday, so
Yeah, so we'll figure it out. But I've definitely,
I'm free.
you just mentioned how critical it is to have an athletic director. So I was thinking about
Critical.
some of the how
Astronomical.
how some of these programs, don't even have a fighting chance sometimes because
Right?
of
Yeah,
the administrative stuff.
Yep.
No.
I mean, I think Hononegah is going to have 2 kids clubs tournament this year. That
2 of
hasn't
them?
happened for years.
Wow. Yeah, that's good for the program. So
Yeah, no shit.
good fundraising for it. But-
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well,
right.
you guys enjoy your Thanksgiving. And,
Happy
we'll
Thanksgiving,
talk soon.
guys.
We'll see you guys.
Go Hawkeyes. Screw that.